Hello everyone and welcome back to one of the most requested videos last year. My name is B and I'm a third year biomed student in Portugal. First of all, I want to say that this is not a sponsored video or whatsoever, but I consider Notion a useful tool for every student and I wanted to share with you some of the things that I learned during my time using it. So let's get into the video. So first, what is Notion? Notion is an app that basically allows you to organize everything, whether it's personal or professional. Plus, by using Notion, you can sync all of your information across all of your devices. You can use it online, like I first started using it, or you can download the app for Windows or MacBook. They also have an app that you can use on your phone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone. At first, I only used Notion like a to-do list, but now I have all my life organized in there, including my notes from classes. Notion is a very powerful tool for students, and if you want to learn more about it, stick around. So, how can you start using Notion? Let's jump into the computer so I can show you. Okay, so first of all, you want to go to their website. So let's go into that, and the first thing you are going to see is this sign up page. At this stage, you are going to create an account by using your email address. After that, you are going to be led into this page. This can seem a bit complex at first, I'm not going to lie. But don't worry, Notion, after a few days using it, you are going to notice that it's very user-friendly. Okay, before starting explaining what you can do inside Notion, I'm going to give you a pro tip. This is very useful. What we are going to do is to click here on Settings and Members, and then here on Upgrade. As you can see, when you start, you are on the personal plan that is completely free. But the things you can do are limited. If you want to work alone, that's completely fine. But if you want to work with like a team, that is going to be a bit more difficult. You have all of these paid options as well. And if you think that this is something that you want to invest on, it's completely fine. The advantage that I see on the personal pro plan is the unlimited size file uploads. Imagine that you want to upload like a PowerPoint that your lecturer gave to you or other documents. 5 megabytes is really limited. This is the only advantage that I see for upgrading to personal pro. This is the part where you ask, am I really going to pay $4 just for that? And the thing you don't know is that Notion offers it for free as part of their education plan. All you need to do is scroll down here to Students and Educators and click on Get Free Education Plan. The only thing you need to do is change your email to your university one and you are good to go. It's just that simple. Now that I gave to you one of the best tips about Notion, let's get back to our workspace. On this bar, we have a few templates that can be used. First, I'm going to show you the template that I use, and now you can get one too. So just click here on Templates, go here, Personal, and then you have Life Wiki. If you want to use Notion to organize your life, this is the template that I recommend you use. Of course, you can create a new template of your own, and there are a lot of other templates available online for you to download. But if you just want to organize your class notes, don't worry, we'll get to that. So right now, we are just going to start on this template. So just click on Use this template. One of the greatest things about Notion is that you can personalize pretty much everything. Okay, so what can you do in order to change it into something that you like? By clicking here, change cover, you can choose a cover from the gallery, you can upload something, you can paste an image link, you can also change this icon here to something you like to, you can upload an image as well, another link. They have a code here, you can delete that just by clicking these dots here and click delete, or you can change the code into something that you really like. Okay, so now let's move to the interesting part of the page. From now on, I'm going to show you the page that I actually use because it's easier for you to understand. Let me just show you how you can change your page into dark mode. So just come here to the sidebar and go to Settings and Members. Here on Appearance, you can choose if you want light mode, dark mode, or the system setting. Okay, so here on the left, I have all of my university stuff. If you click on Notebook, this is going to lead you to my class notes and revision sheets. So let's go back to Life Wiki by clicking here. Here on the planning, I have a page for the tutoring I did last semester, a travel planner, and a YouTube page where I write all my ideas and scripts for upcoming videos. Lastly, right here on growth, I have more like personal growth things, some goals like exercise, reading and volunteering. I also have a reading list as part of my starting to read more goal. As you can see, it is not going well. Let's go back to Life Wiki again. Here on this page, I also plan my week, classes and meetings I have to attend to and stuff like that. Also, after studying a certain lecture, I also mark it here, so I don't get lost. This is also a great way to have everything you have to do organized, and it's a great form of accountability as well. As you can see, today is Wednesday and I have to study genetics because I have an upcoming test. I have like a lab essay I have to do and I need to work on this video that I'm doing right now. Then I have my to-do list. Here I don't usually include lectures I have to cover, but other stuff like essays or presentations I have to do this week. And here I have all my exams and presentation dates that I'm aware of for this semester until now. So I can know if I have something important coming up and keep track of key dates for this semester. Lastly, I have a calendar, and this allows me to have a more monthly view of what tests and presentations I'm going to have in the near future. So you can use this template, or if you have the needed imagination, you can create one from scratch. So now I'm just going to give you some tips that can help you. Imagine that you want to create a new column. Just write something and then just drag it here to the side. You can add dividers as well. Type the command bar and then write divider, or just scroll down until you find the divider block. Or you can just copy this, typing Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. Okay, so this is all I wanted to show you in Life Wiki. So let's move on to how you can exactly use Notion to write your own notes. Okay, so let's go here inside Notebook and let's create a new page. In order to do that, you just type this bar that is like a command key. Okay, so now you write page on it, or you just click here on page. Any new page you create is going to look like this. Just write a title and add an icon if you want to. You can change the icon by clicking on it and just select something. Notice that if you start writing, the text is going to be on the middle. I personally don't like that, so I change it just by clicking on these three dots over here and select full width. Here you can also change the letter style, but I personally use the default one. So now let's type the command bar and I'll show you what's possible to do in here. So you can add text, a page within this page, headings, a bullet list, quotes, dividers, links to pages, and callouts to make something stand out. These are like the basics. When I do my class notes, I just keep it simple because I want to prioritize time over aesthetics. Write a heading, and then if you click on these three dots, it is going to open a menu where you can edit what you just wrote. If you go to color, you can change the text color or background. You can also change the color of one part of your sentence by selecting it and selecting which color you want to. Okay, so normally I use the green background for the most important topics. For subheadings, I use blue and then yellow. For questions, I use the orange one. And lastly, for information about diseases, red. Having a color scheme helps a lot in getting your thoughts organized and finding something you're looking pretty fast. Also, it can even help you understand difficult topics, so I highly recommend you set a color scheme. Doesn't have to be this one, of course. When I'm taking notes, I normally do an introductory sentence and then organize the information into bullet points. You can do this by inserting an hyphen and then hitting space, like this. Also, if you want to insert a bullet point inside another, just press tab. You can also create numbered lists, and they have an option to create subtopics as well. Another thing that helps a lot, because we are visual creators, is adding images. And it's proven that using them with text increases your learning rate. You can look for one in Google, use the ones that your lecturer have on their slides, or you can even create a scheme on your iPad. I highly recommend this too. To insert an image, just write a command bar and write image. Or you can scroll down until you find it. You can add one from your computer, from a link, or search inside Notion too. Also, you can choose where you want to insert the image. If you want to be on the center, just let it be. You can put on the side of the text by selecting the text and moving it to the side of the picture. By doing this, you are going to divide your page into two. So if you want to keep writing using the whole page, you have to get the text below the image. Just drag it by using these 6 dots. Let me show you other things that you can do inside Notion. I'm just going to write something here. I know that by clicking these dots, you can select the whole line. And that's faster than having to select word by word. And if you have a bigger text, by doing that, you can select it all as well. So it is going to appear this window where you have different options. So you can delete this line or lines if you have more. You can duplicate. And note that these two options have shortcuts. And if you use Notion to be efficient, I recommend you to learn at least the basic ones. Because having to click on the dots and then delete is slower than just selecting the line and hitting Del on your keyboard. I know it seems meaningless, but trust me, after doing this for a whole day, you can save precious minutes. One cool feature that I personally don't use is that you can turn the text into something else. Different sizes of headings, a page, a to-do list, bullet or numbered list, a toggle list, and etc. I think these are the ones that you may eventually use. Imagine that I wrote a full paragraph and I noticed that the information would be better organized if it was a bullet list. I can just turn the whole thing into that, and I promise you that is going to save you some time. The headings feature is something interesting as well, but I just got used to doing my headings this way because I think it's faster. Another thing that I absolutely love to do is create tables. I believe that you can organize almost every piece of information in tables. And this is really useful. Let me show you. To create a table, just type the command bar and then scroll down, because in terms of creating tables, we have more than one option. So let's click on this one. This is a new feature that was added a few weeks ago. Now we can create normal tables where we decide how many lines and columns we want to add. This is a regular table like the ones you see in Word or PowerPoint. If you click on these arrows, the table is going to fit the full page width. And by clicking options, you can decide what is the header of this table, the first column or row. Inside this table, you can add more rows or columns, just like in other programs. If you click on these 6 dots, you can delete, duplicate, or turn into a database. If you do this, you are going to turn this table into the other type that we were used to seeing in Notion. I'm going to delete this one and show you how you can directly create this type of table. Type the command bar and scroll down until you find Table Database Inline. Note that you can make a full page table as well if you find Table Database Full Page. Or to do it quickly, just write table and click enter. This type of table is a bit more complex, but you have more features as well. Besides being happy that we have now the option to do normal tables, I will probably stick to these ones. And I will show you why in a sec. So here you can write the title of your table, so you know what it's about. You also have the first column, where everything you write is in bold. Then in the other columns you have different properties that you can add. The first one is a normal text, and then you can change the column name just by writing what you deserve in here. The second one is number, where you can only write numbers. Note that if I don't do that, nothing happens. The third one is select, where you can add different options, and then select one from the list of options that you created. Next, you can multi-select different options at once. It is pretty much the same, but you can choose 2 options if you want to. On the next one, you can choose a date from the calendar. Also, you can reference a person on your team if you want a shared workspace. You can upload files and media, your lecture slides, for example. You can create a checkbox, put links. Okay, I think that you get that the options are pretty much endless when you use this type of table. Another thing that you can do is change the view of your table just by clicking Add View. It can be a board, a timeline, a calendar, a list, or a gallery. Another amazing thing is that in this table, every item on the first column can be a page if you want to. Just click Open right next to the item. In here, you can have your title once again. You can add an icon, a cover, just like a normal page. Then you can write all the information you want to regarding this topic. Imagine that you are doing a table listing of all the essays and group projects that you have to do during this semester. In the first column, you can have the project's name, and inside this page, you could write information that you need to know about it, like the number of pages, what you need to have, the duration of your oral presentation, or even information that you found while reading articles on the internet. Now that you are a Notion professional, I will show you how you can share your work with your friends or colleagues. If you want to share just one page, this one for example, just go here to share, and you have 2 options here. Share with specific people, emails and groups by writing them here, and by doing this you are inviting them personally to have access to your page. Or then you can share your work with anyone that has the link by enabling it here. If you choose this option here, you can decide how much you want to allow other people to in your page. You can allow editing, comments, to duplicate as a template, or search engine indexing. By default, only the allow duplicate template is enabled, and I recommend you to disable that if you create your own template and don't want to share it with other people. And please be careful with the allow editing option, because if you allow this, anyone with your link can mess with your work. And we all know that sometimes you share your notes with a friend, but that friend shares it with someone that is desperately in need, and so on. So be careful to keep that disabled if you are not doing group work with your friends. If that's the case, enabling this option is going to be very useful. If you want to share a page that has a lot of pages within it, you don't need to do that one by one. Just share this one, and your friends are going to have access to every page that is inside the master one. Okay, so this is my workspace. You can integrate in only one workspace, your university and personal stuff like I do, or you can create a workspace for each. To create more workspaces, go to here, your Notion, click on the 3 dots, and then join or create workspace. If you're using Notion alone, select for myself, and this is going to take you to a page like you saw when you first created your account. To navigate between workspaces, just click at the top right here, and by going to settings and members and then settings, you can change the name, the icon, and if you scroll down, you can even delete this workspace. Okay, so I think this covers all the Notion basics that you need to do in order to organize your personal and professional life, and even create your notes. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below, send me a DM on Instagram, or even an email, and I will do my best to answer it. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this type of content, and I will see you next time. Bye!